Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Keeping It Real podcast. I'm your host, McKaleigh Lonaville, and I have a very special guest today. I hope you guys all like my singing. Grace Colter. Did I say it right?
You did,
Okay,
yeah.
good.
Not like how I called you Lenonable.
Yeah, she called me Lanonable. Lanobile. She just told me that now. So anyways, this is my friend Grace. Everyone say hi. I'm so excited to have her on. So I have to tell everyone how we met because this is wild. So it was, I think, the first day that I taught Pilates, and I went to this coffee shop nearby afterwards. It's called Bunkhouse, and there was like these really cute girls behind us, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, like you girls look like you just came from Pilates," and I was like, "Yeah, we did. We just came. Like it was my first time teaching, whatever." She's like, whatever, with her friends, and then I'm like, "Oh my gosh, let me follow you on Instagram," and I like look, and she like my boyfriend follows her, and like this other people follow her, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like how do you know all these people? I'm like, we literally knew each other. So and then we just like haven't stopped talking ever since.
Amen.
And here we are. And now she's on the podcast. And you guys were like kind of the same person. It's a little scary. But like it's actually she's like my like sister from another life, I feel like. Don't you think so?
I do.
Like it's actually like weird.
No, I honestly, I couldn't be happier to have met you. And I think
know.
about that time in the coffee shop a lot because I'm not usually a person to just talk to random people.
Yeah.
Like I do sometimes, but most of the time I just like I'm in my head like, oh, they look cute, or I like her Pilates outfit, or
Yeah,
like
yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
and I'll give a compliment.
Yeah.
But it's not often that I'm like full blown like, hi, this is who I am. Let's follow each other on Instagram. Like I'm kind of obsessed with you. Like,
Yeah, like
wait, can we get coffee tomorrow? You know, and
like we're best friends when you don't know it.
yeah, you know, so it was definitely I think like a God thing, and
Oh, it so was.
yeah.
It so was God.
I
Like,
thank God every day for you.
no, literally, like it's wild, you guys. It's like actually crazy. Like every day, I'm like, God, like you just like put her in my life, and I'm just like, whoa, what the heck? Like it's crazy because you know when there's like. You ask God to bring like you specific people into your life, and like He just does. Like
Yes.
it's wild, and like the way it happened.
No, I've been praying for community that's centered in God for quite a long time. I think it's actually been a prayer of mine for like a few years because there's been several, I mean, I have great friends, but there's been several times where like a girlfriend and I have gone to do like a Bible study or do church together or like read the Bible or whatever it is. And just like kind of doesn't work out, you know, and it's really
Yeah.
hard, I think, to grow your faith when you don't have other people in your life who actively talk about God.
Oh yeah.
And
100%. Your circle matters.
it does. No, your circle matters. So I think it's just been really, really nice.
Yeah.
And no, I just think you're such an anointed person, and
Thank you, girl.
you're just like out there. Your whole life is on display in like the best way. You know what I mean? No, it just it is. And it's been so encouraging to know you. It really has.
Thank
You're such a
you.
sweetheart.
Oh my gosh, it's been so
Seriously.
encouraging to know you. I'm like literally, I like love you so much. It's like a friend. Like we haven't even really been friends for that long, but it's just like that person that you click with. You know, like you just know. So it's been like such a blessing. So I'm so excited to have her on today, you guys. We're gonna just like honestly, I asked her to come on, and she's like, "What are we gonna talk about?" I texted back. I said, "Do you want to just wing it?" So we're just winging it. I don't really know what we're gonna talk about, but we're gonna figure it out. So I guess let's start off with let's tell a little bit about yourself. Where are you from?
Gosh. Where am I from?
What's your birthday?
My
Where were you
birthday.
born?
Well, I just turned 28. My birthday's April 8th. And I was born in Colorado, but I've lived in Florida since I was 3. I moved away to Maine for a couple years, but I came back. It was too cold. And yeah, I've just been in Florida really most of my life. But I spent like 9 years in the legal field. I worked with my dad, and it was a very rigorous lifestyle, but very rewarding. I think I learned a lot, but I did that like 17 through like 26.
Wow,
so,
17. Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
so I was like a 47-year-old.
Yeah,
in
holy
a very
crap.
young girl's body. And so, yeah, but now I am an entrepreneur. and I do yacht management, and I make hot sauce, and it's a really funny, different thing to do.
You guys, when she told me she has a full hot sauce business, I was like, what? So we need to get into this. Please talk about the hot sauce.
The hot sauce is called Burn and Spurge. It was actually founded by Mark Spurgeon, but I've helped him kind of legitimize the business, and yeah, I don't know. It's delicious, though.
I still haven't tried it. Yeah. Yeah, you guys. So we're actually not friends because she hasn't brought me hot sauce.
Oh my God, no way.
Yeah.
I've been supposed to bring you a bottle for like 7 times
So
I've seen you.
Our friendship's on pause until
Whoa, I have to put this in my calendar.
Our friendship's on pause until Grace brings me hot sauce. So I take it back.
Oh my God.
This is my acquaintance.
Bring McKaleigh hot sauce.
She's putting it in her calendar. This is amazing.
Oh my gosh, I can't even believe that. I don't even think it's a business at this point anymore, so I just give everybody.
So that's okay. That would literally be me. This is why I can't have a business, because I just be like, "You're my friend. You're my friend. You want free things.
No,
you want free things.
like,
you could have
literally
it."
same.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
no, I'll bring you some. That's terrible. I'm so sorry.
No, it's really okay.
But the hot sauce actually is it's top tier.
Yeah, I can't
I
wait to
actually
try.
wasn't a hot sauce person, and then I tried this hot sauce, and
Wait.
now I put it on literally everything.
That's
so,
amazing. Oh, she
love it.
also carries salt in her purse.
Oh, I do. I do carry salt in my purse. I don't have it though because I changed my purse this morning.
So when she came to my show last weekend, I had a dance show last weekend, and we went out afterwards, and Chase's sister got asparagus. So first of all, Chase's little sister, Chase is my boyfriend for those of you who don't know. Chase's little sister ordered asparagus when we're all eating French fries and chicken fingers, and she ordered asparagus. And
I'll take a grilled asparagus.
we were all like, okay. So Grace is like, she's like, this doesn't taste that great. So Grace is like, well, I'll help you. Takes salt out of her bag. But and that sounds the most Italian thing I've ever seen.
Everybody was staring at me sideways. They were like, what is that? Are you drugging her?
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
We're like, is that cocaine?
It's Redmond salt from an ancient source. It is nothing but the best.
Oh my gosh.
But she said her asparagus was like 10x.
I'm sure it was. So I told her she needs to start carrying garlic powder.
I'll have an array of seasonings this time next year.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so sorry, keep going. So you're in yacht management.
So then I also do yacht management. Yeah, so I work on boats. I clean them. I detail them. We do like booze cruises. We do deliveries.
So
and,
fun. That's so fun.
It's very fun. No, it really is. It's it's really interesting because I feel like growing up, living in Florida, everybody wants to be a boat girl.
Yeah.
But I really didn't have that many friends with boats, So like I was always just like,
yeah.
Look at everybody, Sandbar Sunday. You
know
what I mean?
Sandbar Sunday.
And I just really wasn't a boat girl. So, being in yacht management, like owning the company now and like knowing so much about boats and like crawling into engine rooms and docking these massive freaking things.
Yeah.
It's like really funny. But I think it just like goes to show that like, when you're a kid, everybody tells you like you can do anything that you put your mind to.
Sure
and,
can.
Yeah, I think the way that I've just kind of like floated around into different industries has been like really interesting.
That's so cool.
Yeah, because like I've done like random stuff before. Like I was like a part-time engineer for a little bit.
What?
Yeah, like I was like living with my friend and like her parents, and this is like a million years ago. But like her dad was just, I don't know, they have some sort of engineering company. They manufacture radios for the military, and so there's like these little chips that they manufacture, and you solder little pieces onto it. But anyways, I was just like out there in the garage hanging out. I was like, hey, oh, Paulie, how you doing?
Paulie!
And he was just like, oh, blah, 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 I'm working. And I'm like, it's so fun. I was like bugging him, and like I asked him if he needed any help because he was like all stressed out. Yeah. And he was like, well, like go like this. And so I did it. And he goes, wow, your hands are really, like you have surgeon hands. Yeah. He was like, you could probably be really good at this. And so I was like, well, if you need help, like just let me know. So, so then I just started soldering little chips for him for like a few months. It was like really weird.
Hey, and then, that's amazing.
I don't know. I worked in like the hotel industry for a little bit. I picked up bartending. Wow. So I do like bartending too. I'm like an event person.
That's amazing.
But Yeah, I don't know. Like, I just think that I think so many of us are scared to pick up a new skill because we don't want to look stupid, and that's like me. That's like my MO.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like looking stupid. I
Me
don't
too,
like
girl.
being outside of my comfort zone.
Yep.
But I think the older I get, the more that I do it, the more fun I have in life. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? The more I
It's
realize there's other things out there.
It's funny you say that because that's like what I'm like kind of going through right now. Like right now I'm really like focusing on like kind of what my purpose is. Like what is my purpose? Like what am
Same.
I going to do? What's my calling? Because like for those of you who don't know, like I've been a professional dancer my whole life, so like not knowing what I'm going to be outside of dance has been like it's a shock. Like
Oh, yeah.
it really is. I mean, you grow up doing one thing your entire life. That was your goal. That was your plan. I was going to be a dancer my whole life. That was the only thing I was going to do. And it was like taken away in the blink of an eye from like the professional industry. Like I still dance, I still with the company and all that, but like what my hopes and dreams for it were taken away in a blink of an eye. So it's like going from like having your whole life plan out to like now figuring out what the heck is my purpose, like I have no idea. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. So it's like it's something I've been really like sitting with the Lord on like every day. Lord, what's my purpose? Like help me find my purpose. Like what's my purpose through you? Like what do you want my purpose to be? And like ultimately just like trusting in his plan of like
Mm-hmm.
what he wants me to do with it. And it's
Amen.
hard like trusting in him and like having faith in him. Like it's hard. It's
No,
hard.
I completely understand. Yeah, I think that was like I dealt with a lot of. I mean, I'm still dealing with that, but when I left the law firm, it was crazy because
Yeah.
I mean, I was like set to take my LSATs, go to law school. Like,
Wow.
I was very regimented in
Yeah.
the legal field
Yeah.
and in my routine and just who I was going to be in life.
Yeah.
And it was a major identity shift when I left that field, and like everybody was like, oh my God, what are you doing? Are you
Yeah.
okay? You're having like a mental like health crisis, like blah blah blah. Like, how are you gonna make money? And I had all those concerns also.
Mhm.
But I also at the same time was just feeling so called to be doing something else. And I
Yeah.
didn't know what it was. I just knew that the Lord wanted me to be an entrepreneur, and I'd always wanted to
Mm.
be an entrepreneur.
Mm.
And yeah, I don't know. It was a huge identity shift though, and I went through a lot of like, who am I? What am I
Yep.
without the legal field? And
Yeah.
yeah, I think like just like you were saying, it just you have to like trust in God and understand like what His plan is for you, even if
Yeah.
you're not really understanding it.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's also very interesting about being a Christian,
Yeah.
especially from the outside looking in.
Mm.
I think so many people are like, oh, like I'm going to find God. I'm going to know exactly what, He has for me. And,
Yeah.
life is just perfect if you're a Christian. But I think like the
Mm.
reality of that is you become a Christian and then your whole life goes woo woo. Like,
Literally.
it's crazy. Like,
It's crazy.
oh my gosh. Like, I think it's like probably been 8 years since I've really like devoted my life to the Lord. And
Yeah.
the last 8 years have been nothing but like insanity,
Insanity.
like one crazy thing
After
after the
the other.
next.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. It's like it's truly wild. And it's like
wild.
it's so hard because it's like you either get to choose to like stay in this life and ride this crazy roller coaster
Exactly.
or like kind of go back to your old life. And like
Right.
honestly, I'd rather be living in this wild crazy roller coaster than be back to where I was, unstable, crying every day, not happy. Like for some reason my life's in crazy roller coasters, but I have peace and it's literally because of
Peace.
the Lord.
No, exactly. No, that is literally everything.
Mhm.
It's everything.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
I don't know, just like you said, like you have a choice to stay here or to not stay here. And I think that's the biggest thing about being a Christian is having true faith in the Lord. Because I don't know, like sometimes I think about it and I'm like, I'm like, was life a little easier
Yeah.
before? Like maybe I could just kind of, with the Christianity thing.
Yeah, just put it away. Mhm.
But then
Yeah.
I think about it and I'm like, but what is life without being a Christian?
Yeah.
Because that's really at the end of the day, I think my purpose and all of our purposes is to just
Mhm.
do life with God and create a
Yeah.
relationship with Him. And
Yeah.
I think through that we continue to learn like who we are also as individuals.
Yeah.
And I think it's just a weird, you like revert into being a child again.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, the childlike faith. Yep.
Yeah, and you just
Mhm.
start to take baby steps with Him every single day. And like one day you wake up and you can like maybe say a Bible verse.
Yeah.
Like, just recite it. And
Yeah.
You're like,
you're like, what the heck?
what was
Did
that?
not do that. Yeah. Or like someone you're listening to a podcast and they're like talking about a story and you're like, I know what they're talking about.
No,
Yeah.
exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, I was lost for so long, and I still
So
am
long.
lost in a lot of the times, like when people are talking about things. But I think the overarching thing that I feel is peace. Like I still have
Mhm.
anxiety here and there, but
Mhm.
the more that I'm in the Word and the more that I just continue to, I think, have faith and put one foot in front of the other,
Yeah.
life feels very peaceful in the chaos.
Yeah.
It really does.
Well, and it's like when I go through the chaos, I'm like, how did I ever go through this without going to God? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like when I'm feeling unstable, when I'm feeling all these like horrible feelings, like I think back about my life, like, how did I ever go through it without the Lord? Because
Oh
I
my
was
gosh.
so unstable. I was so, like, I felt so unworthy, so unloved, so all of these things. And it's like, how, like, no wonder I didn't get through life. No wonder I was
Gosh.
unwell all the
It's so
time.
true.
Even when I'm unwell, I'm fine.
Yeah, no, I mean, and even I mean, like, there's tons of times where I've gone through really awful things, even in my faith, and it's really tested my faith. But
Yeah.
like, there's just also so many times where like I'm absolutely heartbroken by whatever it is going on in my life, and like I'm just like sitting in the bathtub. I draw myself like the warmest, nicest bath, and I just put Jesus music on, and I just sit there,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, with my hands out, and
Yeah.
I just cry to the Lord, and
Yeah.
I just tell Him like,
Yeah.
take this out of my life, like
Yeah.
help me, like,
Yeah.
let me see the light again, like all that kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
I think that's where I keep coming back, because if I was there doing it by myself, it's like so sad. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But like
Yeah.
when you feel that peace coming over you and you feel the chills on your shoulder,
Yeah.
and you just know that the Lord is there giving you a hug, like
Yeah.
it is literally the most beautiful thing ever that
Yeah.
I've experienced in life.
It truly is. And
And
it's
here
like,
comes
oh no, not the tears. I will literally start bawling my eyes out at any
No,
moment.
I can't talk about
No,
God.
I
Seriously,
can't.
he's way too nice.
He's way too nice.
He is.
And he
No,
just loves
seriously.
us so much.
No, he does. It's remarkable.
It
It really is.
like he literally loves us so much. It literally does not matter what we do. I was listening to Girls Gone Bible today because just like they just make my life better. And they had
Love
Stephanie EK. Have you heard their podcast with her yet?
No, was that the one before the last one they released?
No, it's today.
Oh.
Girl. But they've had Stephanie EK on
Oh.
twice. She is like, I don't even know. Like she's truly an angel. Like
I'm gonna listen when I leave here.
she's sent from God, like straight to earth. I guess like when they've had her on before, they've like said that she like only speaks from the Holy Spirit. So like she won't, like she'll have something planned, but she only listens to the Holy Spirit when she preaches.
Love that.
But they talked, like she was saying today, like how like I have chills. Like how you can literally do anything. Like she was talking about like your body count. Like you could do drugs, you could do this, like do all these things. And the Lord, once you come to Him, it literally doesn't matter what you did. It only matters that you came to Him. And it only matters that you like gave your life to Him and you like decided to believe in Him. And I was just
So
like,
true.
wow, that's so good. Because like I feel like we sit, a lot of Christians, I feel like it's a big thing. Like we'll sit in our shame because we're like, we're not good enough. But what she said, it's like none of us are good enough.
It's
like
so true.
none of us are good enough. It doesn't matter what you did. It doesn't matter where you've been. It doesn't matter who you are. None of us are good enough.
No, it's so true. I mean, it's so humbling. And I think
Mhm.
even when you're continuing to walk with Him, like every time I drive, I am humbled by my journey and my relationship with the Lord. Like every time I think that I'm like, walking in faith, I get on the road and I'm like,
Yep.
oh,
Yep. You're
oh
like,
my God.
Yep.
You know,
You're like, Lord.
But I think we're all fumbling and we're all making mistakes, and regardless of what we have in our past or our present or even our future,
Yeah.
He's just always there. I
Yeah.
mean, He's literally waiting for us to just repetitively come back to Him and just continuously say hi.
Yeah, literally.
Hi.
Hey, I'm here. Hey, I still love you. Hey,
Ugh.
hey, it's okay. Like,
Yeah.
and it's like that is the one thing that I wish like I had when I was younger. Just like knowing
me too.
that, and like knowing that, I don't know, just knowing that love. And I guess like not having a father really growing up, like I wish I knew him more. Like I knew the Lord. I've known the Lord my whole life, but not on like this level, of like
Same.
knowing that He loves
Same.
me. And like as much as like social media can be such a terrible thing, it's such a blessing because of all these podcasts, because of like the people I follow, and like being able to really be fed and learn from like some of the best of the best.
No, it's so true.
Yeah, like if we didn't have social media, we wouldn't be able to learn from these people, you know? And like these people that really know the Lord.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm still a very much a baby Christian, like learning.
Also same.
Yeah.
I call myself a baby Christian all the time.
Like learning and growing, but it's like we're always learning and growing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's just been like knowing he just loves us so much has just been like such a game changer.
Yeah.
Truly.
Childhood is hard.
Mm-hmm.
Childhood really is hard.
Mhm.
Yeah. No,
Oh, yeah,
I
girl.
think both of my parents, they're like beautiful Christians, and like they both are completely devoted to the Lord.
Yeah.
But I had a horrible example of Christianity growing up, and so I had a very
Me
skewed
too.
like vision and version of like, you know, who God was and
Mhm.
what it was to be a Christian. And you know, it's just so interesting. And like that kind of, before we got on the podcast, we were talking about core beliefs and stuff. And I just think it's so interesting, especially how generational curses can follow you around. Because both of my parents, although they're such beautiful and devoted Christians, they both came from such broken homes. And
Yeah.
they were just doing their best. Wasn't that great
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
But they were doing their best.
Yeah.
And, you know, things that they struggled with in their childhood are things that my brothers and I now struggle from our childhood.
Yeah.
And
Same.
yeah, and so
Same.
many of us have so many things that come from our childhoods, and we create these beliefs, or, you know, we look at God, you know, as a father through the way that we look at our own father. And you know, it's really interesting being able to kind of grow with him and warp that belief into something more positive and more different, and more like what he wants that to look like, which I'm still working on. But no, yeah, it's interesting.
Mhm.
Growth is interesting.
Mm-hmm. And
It's
like
good,
same.
though.
I mean, I come from like both my parents like broken, and like I come from a lot of church hurt in my family because my mom was pregnant with me when she was 19 and my dad was 16. So, and they were in Christian high school.
Yeah.
So just a lot of church hurt there, a lot of things that happened that were crazy, that were, you know, whatever. But yeah, and it's like the generational stuff. I mean, it's hard. And it's like, but you want to know what? We have a choice to either stay in it or change it. And like that is the one thing that like I've really really learned and grown from. And I went to a personal development course in 2020, I think. And like that was my first time that I like heard about like choices. Like I have a choice to be this way, or like I have a choice to be this way. What way do you want to be? Yeah. So it's like, but like I was 22, like, and that was my first time hearing about choices. Like you think about that, like that just comes from like my family not knowing, you know, like, and it's really sad. It's sad to see how your family is, and like then like you get wrapped up into that, of course, because it's your family, but then you get to choose like how you want to live your life ultimately.
Amen.
And it's like you get to choose if you want to be like a follower of the Lord, if you want to stay stuck in your ways, you know. And that was it. It's like, did I want to stay in the party scene? Did I want to stay stuck with the boys? Did I want to stay with the sex, the alcohol, all this stuff? Did I want to stay in that, or did I want to choose to get out of that and
no, it's so true,
and be freed? You
all
know,
about the heart posture.
100%. 100%. And it's like, you know, you get to either be in that bondage and you get to feel in shackles, like you can't move, you can't breathe, you're always in anxiety, your life is always falling apart, you're just, you know, winging it, or you get to actually step into like true freedom and like finding the purpose for your life.
No, amen. And it makes things so much easier. Like my brother Ben, shout out Ben. He's so sweet. I call him prophetic, actually.
I love it. I love it.
But years ago, my brother studied at IHOP, International House of Prayer, and Bethel.
Oh, cool.
And so he's just an amazing Christian. But I was helping him move out to California when he was about to start going to Bethel. He lives in Missouri now.
Okay.
But anyway, this is years ago. And he was moving in with these, like a few other men into a house, and he didn't know any of them. And like, there was all these moving parts and all this stuff. And like, we were in traffic and there was like so much going on. And he literally like pulled over onto the side of the road. And I was kind of like, what's going on? You know what I mean? And he just goes, God, I don't know these people. I know you know them. I just ask you to scrub my heart out of anything that I have against these people, any preconceived notions, like anything, you know what I mean? And
I
he
love
just like
that.
started praying to God, and like I just was like sitting there completely amazed. I was like such a baby Christian, and I was like,
whoa,
like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's interesting when you see people who have more faith than you or have more experience around like stronger Christians and stuff, like exhibit that kind of power, you know, with the Lord, because it just, I think it really opened my eyes to like, wow. Like, I don't just have to be like angry at this person. I don't just have to like hold a grudge in my heart about like them making my moving process harder or whatever it is. Like, I can actually sit here and ask the Lord to give me wisdom or strength or, you know, peace or whatever it is about whatever I'm going through. And he gives you that. You know, he is like sitting there waiting for you to just continuously ask him to make you more like him. And I just think that that's like the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, it truly is. It's like the greatest gift we could ever receive. It's literally given to us. We don't have to earn it. We don't have to do anything for it. We get to ask him, and we get to change to do that, you know, and to become better people. So and it's like so powerful having people around you like that you can like watch and do that. That's been like the greatest gift, because the people that I used to surround myself with were the people that I would have quote unquote the most fun with. You know, and it's like the people that didn't ever bring any value to my life, only pain. You know, and it's like,
but they were so fun.
But they were so fun. Yeah, exactly. But now, like, the people that I choose to spend my time with and choose to be around are people that are lifting me up, filling me up, people that I can go to and say, hey, can you pray for me? People that I can go to talk to God about. Like, it's so important. It's so important to like, especially being I'm 26, like especially like right now in my life, like I'm almost, well, not almost 30, but like closer to 30, you know.
Girl, I'm almost 30.
It's scary, you know.
It
like
is, yeah.
what are my kids gonna grow up in? Like, those are just like the things. Like, my boyfriend Chase like always talks about this. He always says like, you need to start planning for 5 years from now. What's like, in 5 years, what do you want to be doing in 5 years? Like, is what you're doing right now gonna get you to where you want to be in 5 years? And I'm like, that's so true. And it's like, are the people you're hanging out with right now getting you to your goals that you're going to be at in 5 years, or are they not? And it's like, it's not easy to get rid of friends, but sometimes it's very much necessary to become the person that you want to be.
Oh, that's hard. No, I completely agree. I was listening to a sermon in church probably 5 years ago. Yeah, actually exactly 5 years ago. This was right before I moved to Maine. I was sitting in church. I was struggling with a couple of my friendships because I was sad. I was like, oh, I'm moving 1,300 miles away. Like, I love you guys so much. I don't want to, like, you know, not be together or whatever. And the pastor said, right to me. I swear to you guys.
I'm sure he did.
Right to me. He goes, you know, on the other side of your obedience, sometimes you can't take your friends with you.
Ooh.
And I just lost it. I mean, I was like, what
crying.
do you mean? You know what I mean? And oh my God, no, that has sat with me for so many years because, and I've talked to my brother about that as well, because when he moved out to Bethel and like to IHOP and all that kind of stuff, like, he even like people that he had in church, I mean, like their relationships just kind of didn't stay as close as they were, you know. And I think that's really hard for all of us. And even our pastor Miles at TC3, I mean, he was talking about that just a couple weeks ago about, you know, ever since he's been gone or been on the platform that he's on, you know, he's like had difficulties in his friendships, or, you know, just been really put on the hot seat. And I think we're all so scared about what it's going to look like, or what if I lose this person? What if I lose this, you know, thing in my life? But I've been really trying to focus lately on what door am I closing so that I can open another door? And like what's being taken out of my life so that something else can be put in it. And like, so it's kind of similar like with the closet, you know, every once in a while you just do too much shopping, and then somebody drops the line up. If you buy that, you've got to put 2 other things in your closet to Goodwill. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, you know? But at the same time, it's like, you can't just keep
Yeah.
like getting all this stuff. So, you know, a girl needs a couple new shirts.
Girl, absolutely. We all need a couple. What is? Do you hear that?
Outside?
It feels like it's inside with us. Yeah. We're bully in Cinderella right now. No, but seriously, it's like, what are you putting away to get the new thing, the next best thing? And it's like, we're scared to shut a door, but why aren't we excited to open the next?
Right. Because that's, you know, what's so funny about that too is like once we are opening the doors, like we're all like, oh, so sad to close them. Yeah. But once we are opening the doors, I mean, we are like whipping them open. We're like, hey, this is so exciting. Yeah. Oh my God, like I met you. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I love her. You know? And it's just, I don't know what we're so scared about because it's always better. It's always better.
Always better.
It's really always better. And like I feel like I'm always scared, but it's always better.
It's always better. Well, I think about it with dance. Like when I lost dance, I was terrified.
Oh yeah.
Terrified. Like literally terrified. I cried every single day, all day. And it's like now what I'm doing is better than I could ever imagine.
Are you joking? You're so cool. Yeah. No, you're literally so cool. I'm like, can we just go do Pilates in Aspen or something?
I literally want to do that so bad. I would, you guys, when I'm making millions of dollars, because I will be one day, we're going to just be traveling all the time, doing Pilates.
I love travel.
This is also, you guys, she is literally, again, my soul sister, loves to travel. And if you know me, you know that's like my whole life is to travel. So, like, just going to travel and like finding a cute coffee shop, nothing better. There's nothing better.
You just spoke to my soul.
I built her soul.
All I do when I travel is I find the cutest cafes. I hang out. And I just vibe. And I love it.
I don't care how many coffees I've had. I'm having another one.
Same. Thank you. I need a walking around coffee. I need a driving around coffee. I need a reading coffee. I need a saying hello to McKaleigh coffee.
I need a getting ready coffee. We need a coffee.
No,
like
we need a coffee.
Yeah, like a cappuccino in Italy.
Have you seen that video where the guy's like, I'm making a cup of coffee. Anybody want a coffee?
No, I need to see this. Please send it to me.
It's unhinged.
This is literally my family. So that's my family. You guys, my grandpa wakes up at 5 a.m. and has a full pot of coffee. And then he'll make more because the family didn't have coffee. So then he's got to have more because he's got to have coffee with the family. So it's like, I like my family, we literally run, it's America runs on Dunkin'. McKaleigh's family runs on coffee.
I can't relate to people who don't drink coffee.
No, I can't relate.
I feel like I get a stone cold face when somebody's like, oh, I don't drink coffee.
I know, and I'm like, how? How do you get through life?
Slightly addicted.
My friend Bree doesn't drink coffee. Isn't that so bad?
Bria's like a superhuman. She doesn't drink. She doesn't drink coffee.
No.
She works out so much. She knows everything about finance.
About everything. Yeah.
Cute little starfish necklaces.
I know. She's so cute. I love her so much. I can't wait to tell her. I'm going to just put this. I will cut this part out for Bree. She'll be so excited. Oh my goodness. Well, this was so fun. So I want to ask you one little last thing before we kind of like wrap up. How did you come close to the Lord? Like, how did your relationship with the Lord? Kind of give us a little summary testimony.
Oh gosh, how did I get close to the Lord?
How did you meet him?
You know, okay, so we got very close after I was dating this boy for 5 years, and it was a ride, this roller coaster. And my nephew was put into the world when I was about 17, and he just changed my whole entire world. Oh my God. And I just all of a sudden, there was like a fire on my heart that I needed to just become a better person, and I needed to be a good role model. And everything that was in my life at the time, I was like, I need to change this. I was like, I experienced so much craziness growing up. Like the last thing that I wanted to do was be like the psycho aunt, you know what I mean? And so, I broke up with this boy because he didn't want to stop doing some specific habits that, I was just not interested anymore. And honestly, like my whole life changed. It really did. I broke up with him and I started going to church, and I asked the Lord, it was really funny because I was in college at the time and it was just really silly. Like I was like testing the Lord. Like I think there's like something in the Bible that talks about like basically test me,
Yeah.
and so and
Yeah.
I at the time I didn't realize that, but I was just, out here trying to figure out what was going on. And like I was like, like it was stupid. I'd be like, well, if you're real, make every light green on my way to school, and
I
like,
love it.
if you're real, like, I want a 98 on my test.
I love it.
If you're real, like, you know what I mean? I kept
Yeah.
doing that, and it was like the craziest thing. Like, all of them kept happening, you know
That's
what I mean?
wild.
And there's only so many drives you can take where every
Right.
light is green, you know
Right.
what I mean? But
Right.
it was just specifically when I asked, like, I would totally receive it. And so I
Wow.
think
That's crazy.
it was actually really crazy.
That's crazy.
And I was like, oh my gosh, like this man is out after my heart, And so like a few of those like things happened, and then I was just like completely enamored by him. And I visited my brother out in KC when he was doing IHOP, and people there are just like really prophetic. And I started going to like conferences, Bible conferences, and speaking to people. And I just saw all of this favor in my life. And even though it's been 8 years and I would still categorize myself as like a baby Christian, I think, I just think that overall, like rather than how you come to the Lord, it's more about how you stay with him, you know what I mean? And how you continue to grow. Like I just think that we're all kind of drowning a little bit in some ways, and none of us are perfect, but like I just think that being a Christian is kind of like taking your supplements. Like every morning you just have to keep like taking your vitamins, taking your supplements, and eating the word. And no, he's really transformed my life, and I couldn't be more thankful to have experienced the things I've experienced and had the divine appointments I've had, and just seeing all the favor in my life just keeps me coming back.
That's amazing. And it's like what you said, like he literally is the bread. Like he keeps us full. He keeps us filled up. And it's like, I literally just remember like starving myself of like my mind, body, and soul with food, with knowledge, with all these things, like physically, mentally, everything. And it's like now once I'm like actually filling my cup up, filling myself up, like I feel alive.
Oh, girl, same.
I didn't feel alive. I felt dead, truly. Like dead to the world. Like I was not living. I was like barely breathing. I was barely getting up in the morning and being like I wasn't even excited for life anymore.
Same. I was like barely coming up for air.
Yeah,
like,
barely coming up.
Like,
yeah. And then like right back down, sink it down. Yeah, literally then down. And then down. Yeah.
So it was abrasive. It really was.
It was.
But no, I honestly I couldn't be more thankful. I really couldn't.
He's like the best thing in the whole world. So go give your life to him, y'all. Well, this was so fun. You have to come on again.
Me.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, I would love to.
This is honestly us winging it. We just crushed that. We crushed that. We could talk for hours.
Well, I could yap.
Yeah, me too, girl. I could talk. Oh, I love talking.
Me too.
I love talking. It's so fun.
Especially with you.
No, literally, love you so much. Oh my gosh, you guys, this was so fun. So I'm going to have Grace on all the time. Grace, you're my first season 2 guest. So welcome to the fam.
Crushing it.
Welcome to the Keeping It Real fam. We really do keep it real on here. We have talked all things sex, all things alcohol, all things life. Honestly.
Just one more thing though.
Please.
I think that that's so important. I was talking to a friend years ago, and I was telling her, I was like, you know what, the church doesn't talk enough about sex.
No, they don't.
Like they just like leave it alone as this like weird taboo like topic that nobody talks about, and then they wonder why so many of us struggle with it.
Yeah.
You know, like
absolutely.
I shamefully have never listened to one of your full podcasts.
It's okay, girl.
I love your little shorts on Instagram. I didn't even know that was like a topic that you had talked about, but I think that it's so important. Yeah. And honestly, kudos for you for doing it. Because
me and Kelly did it.
Kelly?
Me and Kelly talked to
Kelly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was fun. It was fun. It was my most listened to podcast, of course. Yeah. Everyone wants to know about sex.
Well, that's because especially through the Christian's eyes. Like I remember when I was like really young in Christianity, you can put this on there if you want or not. But like anyway, absolutely. Like I remember I was having a conversation with my friend, and like she got married like really young.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a funny story, like some of it. But there was a specific thing that happened in their relationship, like prior to them getting married, and like I asked them about it, and I was like, now that you guys are married, you know, like how do you feel about that? Because like as a young Christian who's like single and like trying to like get married and stuff, like I was like, I feel really condemned about it, but then at the same time, like. I really want it. And like there's so many people that I talk to that are like, oh well, you know, we had sex for marriage, it's just not a big deal, it is what it is. And it was just so interesting to like actually have a conversation about it with like other Christians who you know, it's just like none of us are perfect. And like
no, absolutely.
It's just about reaching, you know, and it's about talking about it because there's so many people who talk about it, like the Call Her Daddy podcast.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah, whoa.
You know
that podcast
and
is spicy.
Like, why? It is spicy. And it's like, why is there not like a Christian version of that?
Yeah, there needs to be, because you want to know what? I wish so much I would have known that stuff when I was younger.
Same.
So much.
Me too.
Because it would have saved me. It would have saved me.
So many of us.
So many of us. It would have saved me from so much hurt, from so much heartbreak, from so much trying to prove myself, from knowing my worth. It would have helped me so much, you know? And it's like, it's like you said, it's like, it's such a, like I went to church camps. Why were we not talking about this? Why were we not talking about sex when I was 13? I needed to know these things.
Exactly.
You know?
No, same.
And I needed to know, you need to wait till marriage. You need to save your body because it literally kills you inside if you are not saving yourself.
No, I know. And I talk to so many, like when I talk to people who like have saved themselves, like I'm just like,
yeah. You're an angel. You're fully an angel.
Literal, absolute angel sent down from heaven.
Yeah.
Straight up.
But again, you want to know what Stephanie you guys said, which I'm saying this because I'm reminding myself. She literally says that God does not remember what we did before we came to him. Right. So it's like he does not remember. He doesn't remember those things, so we need to not remember those things. And it's like as much like shame and guilt and things that I feel about it, and like how much I wish like I didn't, and how much I wish like I could just on my wedding night like experience that like. Right. It's okay, you know. Right. I'm made new. He washed me in the blood, like every day. Every time I'm repenting, he's washed me in the blood. He's making me new. He's still loves me, and it's like that is something that we get to run. Like if you are having sex, if you had sex, like it's okay. Like it's not okay, but it's okay. You know, like it's not okay, but it's okay. Like I don't know how to say that, but like yeah, that's just like I wish I knew that so much. So I'll talk about it more. I'm wide. I'm open book.
Open book, baby.
I'm an open book. Ask me questions. I got you. There was this girl that asked me the other day. She's like, so, like, how, like, did you have relationships? Like, how were your relationships before Jason? I was like, oh, well, the one cheated on me about 25 times. Another one was an abusive relationship. And, yeah, do you want to know anything else? And she was like.
So many of us are just like, we're so zoop, 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 zoop. I feel like people look at me like I have 17 eyes sometimes because I can be so real about things.
But you have to be.
You have to be.
You have to be.
I don't know why more of us aren't, because we all try to be so freaking zipped up. Like we've got everything perfect, everything figured out, everything's all good. Yeah. But I mean, like, in reality, like, the girl that you're always freaking flaunting over on Instagram, you're like, her life is perfect. Her body's perfect. That girl is probably crying herself to sleep, like, every single night. She's, like, so sad. You know what I mean? Or, like, maybe she's not. I don't know. But, like, most of the time, like, we see all of these things and we talk to these people and people just lie about, like, how perfect their life is.
So true.
When in reality, we could connect with so many more people if we were just like, hey, man, I'm, like, kind of struggling with this. Or, like, hey, like, like, this is something that I did in my past. Or like, oh yeah, you know, like the other day I totally yelled at a driver when I was driving, and like, you know what, like sometimes we're not all cool as a cucumber, you know.
But it's so true.
We don't have to be perfect.
No, and also like we can talk about our struggles because like it's real life. Yeah. Like things that happen, bad things that happen, things that are rough, things that you don't want to talk about are real. It happens.
Well, and the church gets such a bad rap because everybody pretends to be perfect. And then, like, you get the non-Christians are all like, oh, they look at this crazy person out in the Target again preaching the gospel. What a psycho. You know what I mean? Or, like, you know, somebody hurts you and you're like, oh, well, they're a Christian. Like, they should know better. And it's like all of a sudden grace gets taken out of everything because nobody's real about, you know, what they're struggling with or the fact that that they're not a perfect person, or the fact that you can know Jesus but not be Jesus, and like, you know, like, it's crazy.
So good.
I mean, it is, because
It's so good.
I don't know, I'm not
And
perfect.
you want to know what I'm tired of? I'm tired of people acting like they're perfect.
Me
I
too.
really am. I'm actually so tired of it, because I actually want you to know, like, my struggles before you
Me
know how
too.
I am now, so that, guess what, you get to see where I was to where I am now, and the reason that I am where I am now is because of Jesus. And like,
Yeah.
that's, you know what I mean? I don't want
Yeah.
you to, I don't want people that I know to be like, oh my gosh, she's perfect, she's happy all the time. Like, no, I'm not. I
Me
literally cried this
too.
morning in my kitchen for about an hour. Like, I'm not, you know?
Yes.
Like, and it's okay. And it's just like, we need to be more real.
No,
We have to.
seriously. And like,
Especially as Christians.
yeah, no, 100%. And the Girls Gone Bible girls, like when Ari or Ange like gets
Oh,
all like
love them.
sentimental or emotional about
I
something,
love them.
and the other one pauses and they go,
Yeah.
"No, but that was so
Yeah.
real, and I'm so proud of you,
Yeah.
being able to see where you've come from, and
Yeah.
like I know that that's so big for you,
Yeah.
and like how are your friends supposed to be able to praise you and be proud of you and all of this stuff if like you're just showcasing the most perfect person like all the time,
That's so
instead
true.
of being like, hey, like I've really struggled with this, but like look, I've been really working on this, and like I did this the other day and I'm just so proud of myself, and blah 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 blah. Like,
yeah. But and it's
struggles
like,
help.
I don't want to be I I don't want to hang out with people that I have to be perfect around.
Oh, me neither.
You know, I don't want to be. I want to be me. I want to be myself. I want to be able to make mistakes. Am I going to say a swear word every once in a while? Yeah, absolutely. By accident? Absolutely. You know?
Oopsie.
Because I'm not perfect. And like, I don't want, if I do that, to be judged. I don't
Me
want to
neither. Me
feel
neither.
judged, because Jesus isn't judging me. You know?
Mhm.
So like, that's also so important. Don't be the friend that people can't be real with you about.
So true.
And especially
Amen.
like, if you are like a very much like a prayer person, like if you can pray very well, if like you know how to pray very well, be that person that people can come to with their shame and not judge
prayer.
them, so
Amen.
that you can pray for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like, that's so important. And like help them feel welcome.
Mhm.
Because like, if it weren't for me having friends that like I could come to in like my shame, in the ways that I was feeling, I would not be where I am today. And I'm so grateful for those people, you know, that like I can say like, hey, I did this today. Hey, I did this, and like, can you pray for me? I need to be honest with you. And you have to have those people that you can be honest with, and that you can tell. You have to confess. It's
100%.
so important.
Honesty is the best policy.
Yeah, literally. In confession, it's so important. It literally
really
frees
is.
you.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Every single time. It's just like,
yeah, because you're holding on and you're building up to all these thoughts in your head. When you're not confessing and you're holding on to something, it's literally like fully like overtaking your mind.
oh my gosh. I can't recite it, but
To the Lord's word.
hello, Thessalonians.
Thessalonians.
No, okay, so Psalm 32, it says, blessed is the one whose transgressions are forgiven, whose sins are covered. Blessed is the one whose sin the Lord does not count against them, and in whose spirit is no deceit. When I kept silent, my bones wasted away through my groaning all day long. For day and night your hand was heavy on me. My strength was sapped as in the heat of the summer.
Wow.
Then I acknowledged my sin to you, and I did not cover up my iniquity. I said, I will confess my transgressions to the Lord, and you forgave the guilt of my sin. Therefore, let all the faithful pray to you while you may be found. Surely the rising of the mighty waters will not reach them. You are my hiding place. You will protect me from trouble and surround me with songs of deliverance.
Literally.
It was so good.
So good.
I came across that a few weeks ago.
So good.
And it was after TC3 preached about grace, and somebody told me something that on another day might have really thrown me off course.
Yeah.
And I had read that the morning of, and I just felt like the Lord equipped me to deal with that scenario so well. Between the sermon and that Bible verse, like, I just was like, oh my gosh, like the fact that you were honest about this, and the fact that I just listened to this whole thing about grace, and the fact my name is Grace.
Yeah.
I'm like, the only thing that I can do is like congratulate you for like freeing yourself of like all of the pain and the burden of all of that, you know? And
that's so good.
yeah, no, honesty is so good, and it's so good to have people that you can come to and just be yourself. And
100%. I know you guys. So Grace came to my church for the first time, and the first service that she came to, it was like we've been doing this like series called Decrease, and the first service that we came to was was literally about grace. Like it was about grace, like the word grace, like giving grace, and I was like,
it was meant to be there.
It was literally like you were meant to be there. So, and now she's been coming, and it's been so great.
It really has been. It's been so good.
We literally just crushed the end of that podcast.
Woo!
This episode, we just did so good. I hope you guys we were fired up. I felt it.
I did too.
I
got a little sweaty.
Yeah, I know, I'm a little hot right now.
Warm.
Oh my gosh. Well, guys, this was so much fun. I hope that you enjoyed this podcast. I hope you enjoyed having Grace on. It was literally so fun. Thank you so much, girl.
Thanks for
Love
having
you
me.
so much.
Love
this
you.
was so fun. All right, you guys. So go share this podcast with a friend. We'll have Grace on again for sure. Let us know in the comments what you thought, and yeah, just go and share it. Share the love, spread the love, and go give your life to Jesus. Keep it real out there, y'all. We'll see you on the next one.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.